Now, how have Main Street investors been trading Boeing stock? Let's bring in Kinahan, Chief Market Strategist at TD Ameritrade. JJ, great to have you with us.
Always great to be here. Thanks, guys.
Joining us, as always, with your monthly survey out. What have investors done with Boeing
so starting
over
with Boeing, if you look back to how our clients traded in March, it was interesting. March 11th was when that news came out on the Ethiopian airliner. And then March 25th, the next time we went under 375 on Boeing, we actually saw our trading increase significantly. It was a stock that people were buying. One of the things that's interesting in those two time frames, our millennial clients actually really picked up their trading on Boeing, approximately 20% more than normal, and our normal, the rest of our group about 10% more than normal. So it seems like there is
as buyers on the dip.
As buyers on the dip, it seems that there is a belief that longer time, as Phil just alluded to, over time they will be okay. Now it's a matter of how patient you're going to be. I'm sure I certainly hope some people got out after we, bumped back to 400. But as I said, we get back under 375. It'll be really interesting for me to see how our clients did today, to see if they came back once again as we got under that price.
In other words, the bad news headlines didn't spook your clients?
No, they really didn't. Overall, they've been looking at things like this, Sarah, actually as an opportunity rather than as a time to sort of run and hide. So I find that encouraging, I think, actually, because what our survey showed last month was that our clients actually took more exposure again for the second month in a row to the market, highest level we've seen since last October. And as you guys know, we did 4 months in a row where they took less and less exposure. Now the last 2 months, the biggest difference...
This is now the market as a whole, not
This
Boeing.
is the market as a whole, not just as Boeing, I'm sorry. And the difference in last month compared to the month before is, to the Boeing story, they went to more individual stocks, whereas in February, we saw them doing a lot more ETFs type thing, broad markets.
So buying in March, that was the theme. How bullish overall on the market?
As I said, last October, we're still at the lower end, to be honest with you, Sarah. They're still not wildly buying, but at least, if we say that they went from a toe to a calf, now we're knee high in the water, so to speak. And I think that as long as we have this tariff situation, when I talk to clients, that being an overriding theme, I still think people are kind of struggling with where that will end. And so that can hopefully give them some more answers going forward. And of course, earnings starting Friday.
What about the FANG names in March?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Well, if the FANG names that were such the momentum, sellers of all of them last month except for Alphabet. What I will say is encouraging, as you guys know, coming on every month, there were buyers 8 months in a row of Amazon, turned to the sell side last month, continuing to sell Apple and Facebook when they go higher. I think there's still a lot of questions, obviously, around Facebook. And what was actually interesting, turned to a seller, 2 stocks that surprised me. Number one, Netflix, that they were sellers of. Number 2, our millennial clients were sellers of Chipotle.
Right.
And so, we don't often see that.
I also see Amazon was a sell.
Yeah, Amazon, as I said, they bought that 8 months in a row, and it turned to a sell last month. So.
And Tesla was a buy, which is interesting because it's had a rough
Yeah, Tesla and NIO, the electric car companies, again, driven primarily by our millennial clients, were both buys last month.